Life is a twisted cocktail of pain and expectations. You drink it, hoping it'll numb you. Instead, it burns all the way down. Masculinity. It's like that. A drink you're served at birth. One that you keep taking sips of, whether you want to or not. They tell you to be strong, to hold it all together, to bear the weight like a man. But no one tells you how heavy that weight can be. No one tells you that being a man doesn't mean being invincible. It means walking through the fire, even when you know it'll scar you. And I've been scarred plenty. Strength. That's what they say it means to be a man. Physical, mental, emotional, doesn't matter. You're expected to carry it all. But what they don't tell you is that real strength isn't about how much you can lift or how long you can keep standing. Real strength is knowing when to break. You see, breaking doesn't mean weakness. It means you're alive. You're human. And sometimes it takes more guts to admit you're drowning than it does to pretend you're floating. They didn't teach us that. They taught us to grit our teeth, to stand tall, to be unshakable, even when the world is falling apart. And then there's the burden, the responsibility. They tell you to protect, to be the shield, to put everything and everyone ahead of yourself, to be the pillar in the storm. But what happens when the storm never ends? What happens when the weight of it crushes you from the inside out? They never told me that being a man could mean losing everything. They never told me that even when you fight to protect the ones you love, sometimes it's not enough. That sometimes the manliest thing you can do is survive. Pain. We wear it like a badge. A man is supposed to handle pain, right? Whether it's physical or the kind that gnaws at you from the inside. You don't cry. You don't ask for help. You just endure. But there's a truth I learned the hard way. Pain doesn't define you as a man. How you respond to it does. You can numb it, drown it, or let it consume you. Or you can face it. You can accept it. Pain's not the enemy. It's a teacher. It showed me that masculinity isn't about being bulletproof. It's about carrying the wounds and still standing. Masculinity, they say, is about dominance, power, control. But there's a lie in that. The truth is, control is an illusion. You never really have it. You just think you do. Life, fate, the universe. They all have a way of reminding you that control can slip through your fingers like water. Real power isn't about controlling others. It's about controlling yourself, your actions, your choices. When you're knee-deep in chaos, when the world is against you, that's when you find out what kind of man you are. Then there's the myth of emotionless manhood. The idea that if you show emotion, you're weak. But emotions are what make us human. They make us alive. The anger, the sadness, the regret. It's all part of the package. You can suppress it, but it never really goes away. It's always there, lurking, waiting to surface. The strongest men I've ever known weren't the ones who never cried. They were the ones who faced their demons head on. The ones who allowed themselves to feel, to hurt, and still keep going. Masculinity isn't about fitting into some mold. It's not about being invulnerable or stoic or fearless. It's about being real. It's about facing your fears, your failures, your flaws, and still pressing forward. It's about knowing when to stand tall and when to walk away, when to fight and when to let go, when to protect others and when to protect yourself. So what is masculinity? It's messy, it's painful, it's flawed, but it's also resilient. It's about finding your own way through the chaos, holding on to what matters, and accepting that sometimes even the strongest men fall. But falling doesn't make you any less of a man. It just makes you human, And maybe that's what being a man is really about. Embracing your humanity in all its broken, bleeding glory. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to survive. And surviving, that's as manly as it gets.